the Drum Rundown. We are here at one of my favorite venues in Nashville, the Basement East, with one of my favorite bands, Baroness, and I'm here with Seb, the drummer. What's up, man? How you doing?
How you doing? I'm doing great.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Good to see you.
You too, man. We were setting up, we were talking about classic stuff, and there are some just classic right down the middle pairings that are just like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Ludwig, Paiste.
I mean, I've said this in interviews before. When I was a little kid, if you had asked me which two brands would you want to be endorsed by, I would have said Ludwig and Paiste.
There it is.
And that's what happened.
It's incredible.
It's kind of incredible.
You manifested
I don't know how that happened. But it happened.
You know, you make a couple good records, you get a Grammy nom, you know, you do the thing.
You lose a Grammy, you get stuff.
Sometimes you lose, you win.
You lose to Megadeth, good stuff happens.
Hey, well, it's better than losing to Metallica when you're Megadeth, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Cool, so let's start there. Ludwig, it's obviously iconic as drummers. We grew up just hearing those on those classic records, and it's just that sound, and you chase it, and
I mean,
there's no substitute. So
as a little kid, it was Bonham and Alex,
right,
and Ian Pace.
There it is.
There you go.
So does that inform the Orange Sparkle?
The Orange Sparkle was actually, this was given to me by Ludwig, and that was during the Yellow and Green tour.
Okay.
So we're like, oh, let's do something yellowish. And now I've had it for 11 years. And it kind of matches the golden gray era too.
Sure.
The stone does,
It's a stretch, but
it could be, it looks like kind of like a mineral.
Yeah, of course.
You know?
That's cool. So the sizes, obviously, we can start there.
The sizes, I had a 24.
Okay.
I still have the 24. This is the 22. I just go back and forth.
Yeah.
It depends what you want. Like recording, I prefer the 24. If you have control of the room mics and the room sound, you get the higher tuning on the front head with the bigger drum. It sounds fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, you better.
But I think live, the 22 is much easier for a live sound engineer.
Yeah, for sure.
Just stick a mic in there and you're good to go.
I mean, a 24 in a room,
you don't get all the magic.
You don't get the magic, and then you just get a cranky front of house guy that's trying to wrangle.
And also now your toms are 2 inches higher, and you're like, oh.
Yeah, you know. And I mean, ergonomics and mechanics are a huge thing.
I totally agree.
I think we're even thinking more about that in the last handful of years.
Yeah. In this older band I played in, and also in Baroness, I used to use all rototoms. And one of the advantages of rototoms is that they're just here.
Yeah.
And you can put 4 in the space of these 3 toms, and you can just fucking go wild.
That's awesome. Yeah. For the folks back home, what are the sizes? Can you run me around the toms?
So 12, 13, 16.
Yeah.
Forgot the depths. This is 16 by 16, looks like. The snare 6.5 by 14. It's your Supraphonic, classic Supraphonic. The snare.
The one.
The one. Every time I play a snare with a, what's it called? The die-cast hoop.
Yeah.
I can't. I don't get that rim shot.
Yeah, you're not a die-cast guy.
No, I like the light, that rim shot that really, that's alive,
Yeah, and the pairing with the ST dry head, which we were talking about.
The ST dry head, well, first of all, it's super tough.
Yeah.
Second of all, the vents, it's just a little more forgiving when you're playing the set and some tension rods go out. Like you get a little bit less of the overtones.
Yeah.
So it's a little, easier for everybody.
But I see one of my little friends, and I bring this up every time. They're going to feel like I'm being paid, but I am not being paid. But I see the Rock Lock.
The Rock Lock, that was given to me by, I forgot his name, the drummer from Suicide Silence.
Okay.
He's like, try this out, and it's actually worked.
Yeah.
And I put it because this is where I rim shot right here. So.
And one is all you need, just right there. I do similar, just
then
like
one
where
down
they
here.
want
Actually, I should have put one down here.
Yeah.
Because that one gets loose too.
So.
But it works.
Anthony, we're always talking about you, and we're here. I mean, we always talk about these things. These are just a product that work, and it's great to start seeing them almost every rundown.
At first, it made me uncomfortable or uneasy because I was like, well, now I can't tune it during the set.
Oh, but now you don't have to tune it. Yeah, right.
Right.
It eliminates the thing.
It's like a lack of control thing.
Right. Got it. Evans G2.
Yeah.
Just another classic.
So I am also an Evans endorser, but I was using the Remo control dots. I know. Shh. but you know what? These are more live. I'm really liking it. The G2 on top, the G1 on the bottom. More open than I normally do, and it sounds great.
It's a classic pairing.
Yeah.
Very cool. And I see you're not doing a lot of dampening. You just have like one little gel.
Just the one little gel.
And that's probably just a little overtone ring out of the microphones.
Exactly.
Cool.
Really, really simple stuff.
And what are you using on the kick drum? I can't see from here,
It's
but
an
I
Iron
see.
Cobra. Oh no, the head.
The head. Yeah.
Is an Emad 2.
Emad 2. Foam ring in or out?
Ring.
Is there
out?
Out.
It's been a while since I looked at that.
Yeah,
Ring
right.
out.
Ring out.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And always use a wood beater.
Okay.
You know, Tommy Aldridge,
Ooh,
right?
what do we got?
I mean, I don't remember the brand, but
Wood beater though.
wood beater. Yeah.
I heard something the other day that made me think, and maybe you can speak to this. There's a famous quote from someone, I can't remember. They're like, you're hitting the drums with wood sticks all night. Why would you not hit the other drum with wood as well?
I
So
mean, the reason there's two reasons. First of all, when we were rehearsing and I have a felt beater, I can't hear the kick drum with the whole band playing.
Yeah.
So that really helps me on this side of the drum to hear it. And the other thing is, for the engineer, they don't have to crank a lot of high end into the mics because you have that attack already.
Yeah.
So you don't get like weird noises and the bottom snare and all this other stuff going on.
Yeah. So I think there is something there. You're hitting the toms with pretty good force with a wooden stick, and then you're hitting the kick drum with the felt. It's like
you want the same kind of transients, right?
Yeah.
For the whole kit.
Right. And I like that attack. It's very cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, you said the Iron Cobra.
That's just tradition for me.
Right.
You know? I've broken other pedals, never broken that. So
It's the ride or die.
yeah.
Very cool. All right, let's talk about Paiste. I see, some just classic, awesome Formula 602s and 2002s.
Yeah. I mean, I've played 2002s for a long time, but I feel like these, the 602s have a little more sort of like body than the 2002s, and it kind of reminds me what another one of my favorite drummers obviously is Stuart Copeland, which is not this setup at all.
Right.
But even though these are 15-inch hats, I feel like I can do some of that stuff because, like I said, they have a little more body than a 2002.
Yeah.
So I like that combination. It was kind of unexpected, honestly.
Well, there's a silkiness in that alloy that kind of has a really nice feel, and I
Yeah.
think it gets you to those little nuancy things better. So 15-inch hats.
Yeah.
Then I see
The 15-inch hats, if you're doing anything that's at all Bonhamy, you gotta have the 15-inch hats.
Yeah.
So that's one. But anyway, 16-inch, which is kind of small for me, but I figured it'd be fun. I don't know. I like the difference,
Yeah.
And then the 18-inch 602, and then this guy here is for when I had smaller kits. I would wash on the ride, but they would just crack constantly. So now this is my washer, So this one is safe to be used rhythmically.
Okay.
And
So
it doesn't get smashed as much.
using that as a proper ride.
I'll hit it every now and again, but usually I'm like up here.
Cool.
Yeah, and I don't really like a lot of, or I'm not used to a lot of the thicker, more metal style rides, like the Rudes and stuff.
Right.
Every time I play one, I'm like, oh, that's way too much definition.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me uneasy.
Yeah. Well, I think when you were talking about your sonic references of, Bonham and stuff like
Right,
that,
it's
it's like
like-
you,
it's older stuff.
Yeah, you have your ear almost like
Yeah.
tuned to what a good cymbal is.
Yeah,
You're going to lean to that direction. Very cool. And you're hitting them with Vater 5/8.
That's also kind of a secret, but they're power 5As. Okay?
Power 5A.
I have played 5Bs my whole life.
Yeah.
And then I went 5B Extreme. And then one day I was out of sticks in my rehearsal space, and my buddy who I share a space with had the Power 5As. And I was like, why am I making my life so hard? Why am this is so much easier?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Was there a difference?
I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that.
Oh, come on.
Fuck.
Was there a difference that you kind of felt going from an extreme, like a longer stick, back down to
I like
a
the
normal
extra
size?
leverage.
Okay.
The extra whip you get.
Right.
I like the extra. It took a couple of weeks to get used to it because I would do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right, when they're a little longer, and
Yeah.
the stick goes flying. Shit. But now I'm used to it. But,
Very cool.
I like the extra whip you get from it.
Yeah. Well, I would say that listening to the new record, there's just like this urgency thing that's happening in all of your parts. And I know that when you were recording, it was like during COVID times. So you were sending ideas to the rest of the band, and you were kind of just writing things, motifs, and sending them.
Every Friday we would send each other, we
Yeah.
would upload to Dropbox, send each other, I would record drum parts and fills and grooves, and they would record riffs and chord progressions, and then we just sort of put stuff together, and then we got together in a house we rented and actually, reworked everything as a band.
Right.
And rewrote the parts, and yeah, but the origin was online and separate, which is not ideal. But there are some advantages to it, because sometimes when you're, in the studio with your bandmates, you don't really get the time to work out an idea.
Right.
It's like, or you feel pressure. Just do something that you're comfortable with.
Right.
Don't push don't push the envelope at all. But when you're alone in your own space recording, you can work on it all day, get a good take of it. They don't realize how much you fucked up the rest of the day.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah. I like that workflow process of woodshedding an idea and having the drum parts kind of inform some of the melodies and guitars, because you have some melody makers in your band, so to throw them ideas, like you're going to get back.
I think for the rest of the guys, I think they like having just like a context for writing guitar and bass parts, and I think the secret for other drummers out there, if you want your bandmates to use your ideas, just send them a lot of ideas.
And one of them's going to creep
Because if you're
through.
like, oh, here's a cool groove I have, then you've kind of like forced them to like either accept it, and if they don't like it, it's weird. And if they turn you down, you feel like they don't appreciate you.
Right.
So you just give them a lot of ideas.
Yeah.
And then something good will come of it.
Yeah, well, there's good things happening, and like I said, there's a sense of urgency that's kind of happening in the songs, and I mean that in a good way. It kind of pushes forward, and there's a lot of momentum and kind of like energy that is just getting you to the next piece, and I really like that.
I'm not like a sort of laid back sort of groove drummer.
But the groove's still there.
I'm always like a little bit like to the right of the click track.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like consistently.
Well, I like it. It's certainly landing. Congratulations on that.
All right.
And congratulations on this tour.
All right. Thanks,
cool.
guys.
Well, this has been the Drum Rundown. We are here with Seb from Baroness. We'll see you guys on the next one.